What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne.
I'm Isha Wayne.
And thank you for joining us in another video. Today I just wanted to do a quick video discussing the differences between the A-Class and then the CLA. We just shot a full in-depth review on the 2020 A220. So if you haven't seen that, please be sure to check it out. But I know there's been a lot of questions. A lot of folks have sent me DMs and emails asking me the difference between the A-Class and the CLA. And we're just going to do a short video kind of explaining the two. So first of all, in the US, the A-Class receives the A220 designation. It's powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Its output is going to be 188 horsepower. Now coming over to the CLA, also powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, its output is going to be 221 horsepower. So what is the major difference between the cars other than just the output? Isha, I showed you the cars. So one thing that's obvious from the exterior is the shape. So if you look at the A-Class sedan, you will notice that it has more of the traditional shape of the average car. It's an economy car, right? It's something that you can get in as an entry-level vehicle, as the price starts at $32,800 for the base price. Now, when it comes to this CLA, while that car isn't really expensive when looking at the big picture, the base price is $4,000 more. What you're getting is a car that is a little bit more sporty when compared to the A-Class. And so your price point is going to be about $36,000 or so for that vehicle. Now that car, it's less traditional. It's more sculpted, you know, the lines are more dramatic on that vehicle.
Okay, they just put more detail into it.
Kinda, you could say that. Yeah, it's kind of like a baby CLS. So it kind of has that arch shape
Which
thing
I like.
going through
You guys
it.
know I like that.
And it looks really nice. Now, from the front, and I'll drop in some photos and videos in here for our overlay, you can hardly tell these two cars apart. One easy way to tell them apart is that the CLA has a kind of a drop or a half circle shape on the bottom of the headlamp. But for me, it's hard to tell them apart, so I just look at the headlamps, and that way I'm able to determine from the front, you know, which one is which. But the side profile of these cars are completely different. The CLA is just less traditional. It has that sweeping roof line. So if you're tall and you try and sit in the back of that car, it's not going to work as well as it would in the A-Class. So
this is high.
you got some headroom in the back
there. The
there.
other one goes down.
So
you're
the
kinda
CLA is
like
it's a little less practical because you're going to be sitting there like this if you're in the back and you're tall. So
You stole my cookie.
yeah. So it really depends on what you're looking for between the two. As far as driving dynamics, the CLA has a little bit more feedback when you're driving the car. There's a little bit more engagement behind the steering wheel. The ride is different. The suspension is different. So again, it's kind of going towards that sporty appeal, those who are looking for something a little bit more sporty. And then as far as typical size, the CLA is longer than the A-Class. It's about 5 inches longer and just under 1.5 inches wider, and it sits just a little bit lower. It's not as tall as the A-Class, so again, it's giving it that sporty appearance when looking at it from the exterior. So those are some minor differences that, you know, one might notice when driving the CLA directly after the A-Class. And, you know, of course, the visual cues we covered as well. Now, for the CLA, you can get 2 different AMG levels on that car. The A-Class, you're getting the A35, but the CLA, you're getting the CLA35, which is coming with 302 horsepower. And then there's also the CLA45, which is coming with 382 horsepower. So that's an additional 80 horsepower over the CLA35. So your 0 to 60 time can be around 4.7 seconds, which is really fast for that car. Again, if you're playing the options game, that $36,000 base price can start to trickle up if you're not too careful with the CLA.
Oh, okay. So looking at both of these, they're relatively in the same class, correct?
Right. The CLA is essentially a coupe version of the A-Class sedan.
Okay, so these are still relatively entry models.
Yeah, relatively, these are entry-level
Not holding
models.
on to my butts.
Not unless you're getting like the CLA45,
Okay.
which is kind of like an entry-level AMG model, so you're going to be paying more.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, and
Okay.
the base models, you're not going to be holding on to your butts doing 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay, right. Okay.
But
So, I guess it just depends up to what, the buyer would want.
exactly.
You can get, it's just a step up from this base model.
Right.
You can spec it out a little bit more power, a little bit more design. There are some design aspects that differ, like you said, the sweeping rooftop.
Exactly.
It's just a little bit more of what you can do with that vehicle.
Exactly. So it really depends on what you want. Back in the day, in the 90s, you had just a few choices. You had the C-Class, the E-Class, the S-Class, and the SL, which is kind of, one could argue, like an S-Class Roadster, really. But now, the lineup is so expansive. There's something for everybody.
Right.
The A-Class alone you have the A-Class, the CLA, the GLA, which is the SUV version. So that's 3 different cars within that one tier. If you're in the European market, there's even a shooting brake model, which is almost like a station wagon version of this.
Right.
So just in that one tier, there's up to 4 models. Then you got the AMG variant, so there's really more than that. And then you can go to the C-Class. Then you got the E-Class and the S-Class, and all of them have their SUVs and coupes and different types of models. So it's amazing how expansive the Mercedes-Benz lineup is now compared to 20 years ago. It's crazy. So when it comes to the A-Class, it really just depends all on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a basic car with a little bit of luxury qualities sprinkled in there that you're going to drive on a daily basis to get you from point A to point B, the A220 is for you. I got to be very careful with the nomenclature here. The A220 is for you. Now, if you want something a little bit more sporty, but you don't want to pay for the AMG enhances, then look at the CLA250. Again, you're getting 221 horsepower compared to the 188 found in here. Now, if you want even more power, but want that sporty appeal, you have the CLA35 and the A35.
Look, y'all just have options. That's what
y'all got choices.
Yeah, seriously. So take your pick.
Essentially, all great cars. Test drive them. Look at the specs. We explain to you as best we can how they handle, but you really gotta have an idea of what it is you're looking to get into, and then I'm sure you'll be able to find your way from there.
Right.
So that's all we wanted to say in this one. I want to thank you guys for joining us in another video. Please be sure to hit that like button.
Share, subscribe.
You know the drill.
and let me know what vehicle you want to see me in.
Anyways, we'll leave it off there, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank
Ciao.
you.